We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
I want to talk about news, don't want the drama. From no pretentious media Madonna. I found me a great ganja mama. Cannabis and coffee with Tamarijuana.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cannabis and Coffee. It's a beautiful day. The sky is blue and sunshine, and hopefully we're going to get some more because, typical to a BC, Southern British Columbia, Southern Alberta long weekend. It snowed. And, well, not here, but it snowed in some parts, and it rained, and it was crap all weekend. How was your weekend out there, Natalie, in Kingston?
It was actually a very beautiful weekend. I even got to have a barbecue with my friends on Saturday, which was really, really nice, and got to sit outside and have some cocktails, going for walks, things like that. But we did have a downpour today, so it was due because we do need the rain.
Yeah, that is very true. We too need it. We're, fire season and we don't want to. So I guess we should probably introduce you. This morning I have Natalie Sophia with me. She's with Stoni, which will get her to explain everything to you. She's out in Kitchener, Ontario. So the first question I'm going to ask you is who you are and how did you get into cannabis?
Okay, so I'm Natalie Sophia, and it's kind of funny how I got into cannabis. I always wanted to get into it, but was always so afraid of what would happen. And then I just woke up one day and was just like, I just don't care anymore. I was working for a general practitioner, and the woman that did his billing said to me one day, I make fudge. And I was like, well, that's great for you. She's like, no, I don't think you understand. I make 96 different kinds of fudge. And I was just like, wow, that's just way too many flavors of fudge as far as I'm concerned. And then I started to walk away, and she grabbed my arm and she's like, honey, I make cannabis fudge. I was like, oh, okay, now we're talking. I don't like fudge. She's like, no, trust me, you'll like mine. So she's just like, my husband and I want to make a business out of this, and we're wondering if you're willing to help us. And I was just like, okay, I'm not really sure what I can do to help. So I ended up doing the social media pages, and we did our first show at Lift & Co. before, unfortunately, they disappeared. And we got interviewed by the Naked News, and the funny thing is that when the Naked News showed up, I actually worked for the company that owned the Naked News a very, very long time ago. So it was absolutely great, and we were only allowed to sell non-infused fudge at that time. And a gentleman a couple of tables down came to us and said, what are you doing? And we said, what do you mean? And he said, you sell the bag for $20 and you put a free sample of the fudge in it. I think we probably did between $8,000 and $10,000 that weekend. And then we just started going to the green market with, Lisa Campbell and Sarah, and doing other little events and Lift & Company, and we just started to really get our name out there. And that's at that time when I decided I have a skincare company. Maybe it's a really good idea to start infusing my skincare line. So I started doing that, and again, doing the social media and all that kind of stuff. And it's only, I would say, in the last year since I partnered with Danny Reposer from MasterChef Canada that it started to really take off.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you have more than one location.
Actually, I work from home. So, but when it comes to Stoni, there's several locations across Canada. So we've got Toronto, Ottawa, Kitchener, Hamilton, London, Halifax, and we are a premier delivery service. All product is from BC, and it is stellar. I can't even describe. Like, you actually have to taste the product yourself. It's that good.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Oh, I'm in BC, and there, there's a variety. So I mean, how do you even pick anymore? Like, I stay away from the legal stores, to be fair, because
yeah. Number one, it's very, very expensive. They produce way too much too fast. I can tell you also, with the licensed LP stores, within walking distance of my house, there are 5.
Yeah, I know.
If I walk maybe another 10, 15 minutes, I'll probably bump into at least another 6 or 7. It's so unbelievably saturated. The cannabis is way too expensive. They're just making it, I think, a little bit too difficult for everybody. I understand that you can purchase it online, and they've started delivery service and that and this and the other thing, and that's great. And I do have a couple of friends that have made it into the OCS, like Earth Kiss Sky, who started with topicals. Now they have their own strain in the OCS, and then of course Val and Matt from Shatterizer now have their own line of sauces, which is absolutely wonderful, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of them. And I wish nobody but the best of everything that they want to do. I just think that they should have left it to the people that had the experience like we do, whether it be 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah. Hey, you're right on the same page as me, because lots of us have been doing all kinds of things for so many years, and it all boils down to, I'm not even sure. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of red tape, lots of money needed, and that's great. Like, I mean, we've got, other people that are now in microcrafting out here that just got licensing, and good for them. Like, and I'm a patient. I've got, I have the ability to grow, I don't know, couple hundred plants, and I don't have the space, and that's fine. And I don't want to get into microcrafting. I was more law reform, which we got the laws changed, right? We also got 14 more laws added, and a lot of red tape and bureaucracy that people can't get through. And a lot of these old legacy growers too are having a hard time facilitating themselves through. And then you've got lawyers that are charging money to help them, which is, I'm not disputing the fact that it's not easy. Nothing in cannabis is easy. Even getting a damn MNAR license wasn't easy, right?
Yeah, no, they're not making it easy whatsoever, and it's really sad that all of these unfortunate, inexperienced, unintelligent, but they're super, super wealthy, and have come into this industry thinking that they know this, that, and the other thing. There's even licensed producers, and I won't mention any of their names, that I absolutely did adore, because I was a patient educator for a clinic. I won't mention the clinic, but they just turned around and they got rid of everybody that knew everything about cannabis, and then brought in all of these people that have never eaten it, never smoked it, never taken the oils, never even really touched it, and then telling them, go with it and run, but you don't know anything. You're just throwing money at something that you're not educated on, and I just really think that's sad, because even the people that are in the black market, the gray market, the illicit, whether they've been in the industry for 20, 30, 50 years, like I had mentioned, we're still learning every single day, where these people seem to turn around and just think, well, I know how to grow. No, you don't know how to grow, because even I don't know how to grow or how to grow properly.
Yeah.
I know. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of education, and a lot of trial and error.
Every grow is different, and that's the thing too. Every plant is different. You can grow the same strain, the same clones from the same mama, and get a different result every time. Well, not every time. And again, it's the curing process too. There's so many variables within. It's not just, people say, well, it's just a seed and dirt. It is. it's super simple to grow. Yeah, you have to throw water at it, and you got to make sure not too much and not too little, and watch your bugs and that kind of thing. But when it comes to at the end of the day with the end product, it's how you cure and the strain. So, and I agree. Like I said, there's not anything that you haven't said that I don't agree with, because that's pretty much, there's patients were left behind. And that's something that's super disheartening, because if it wasn't for patients that fought for medical to begin with, there would have been nothing for them to establish legalization off of. And again, too, with the edibles, with the cap on THC levels. And what kills me is they say they're recreational, yet they've got CBD, which is medicinal, in their stores. And Al and I have often chuckled about what's medicinal, or pardon me, what's recreational about a topical. Like lube, okay, we can see on that side of it. But if you're in pain and you're needing a topical rub, that ain't no recreation. That ain't no fucking fun. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And that's why I decided to infuse my line, because so many of us, it's like, I get asked all the time, am I going to get high? And it's just like, no, topicals are non-psychoactive. But if you want pain relief, if you want to sleep, if you want to relax, if you want to be able to have your depression or anxiety dissipate for even just a short period of time, I can facilitate that. And you're exactly right. The rules are too stringent. I know what I'm doing. I know the results that I'm getting from my clients that purchase my products, and I've got a 5-star rating right across the board. But no, topicals are not recreational, and this is what I find really sad when everybody voted Trudeau in. The great majority, well, I'm going to vote for him because he's going to make cannabis legal. It's just like, no, there's more important things that need to be done before that's even thought about. Like, what about the murderers, the pedophiles, the opiate addictions, homelessness, programs getting taken away from children? There's so many different things that we could have been touching on. And now this Trudeau is just dragging us down into the dregs of hell, and Ford is right there holding his hand, and they've done nothing but fuck everything up for everybody, when it should have been the medical patients that should have been taken care of first, along with the veterans.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's where we're at too. Like the patients, I'm not sure, that consultation I think ends on the 27th of this month. So tomorrow I think is the last day that they've, pulled another, we're going to have a consultation, 75-day consultation, because they don't like the diversion of patients. And they stated that there's 420,000 of us in total. And I'm not one of them. I'm not one of their fucking numbers, because I refuse to be licensed again. Fuck them. I'm done. I didn't want a fucking license to begin with, but I have a kid. I didn't want to get busted growing my medicine. I already got busted for fucking trafficking for mailing out medicine. So I wasn't into getting a cultivation charge. So I went and played their stupid game and got my diagnosis and flew off to Ontario and got my MMAR. Thankfully, the doctor I had in Hannah signed for quality of life, and I didn't have to fuck around again, but I had to once I moved here. And I just said, no. But the difference in discrepancies on LP licensing compared to patients that are growing is quite vast, because you've got an average of 2 to 3 grams, because that's all people can afford from a licensed producer, comparably to the ones that have grow licensing at 30 grams a day as an average. So the discrepancy there is quite vast, and the government figures that every patient out there is diverting. And me and Loretta kind of discussed this on Canada Quebec Connection last night because of the reserves. And the reservations, like Oka is huge in Quebec. They've got quite a few dispensaries running. There's the black market running still, the gray, where whoever's sitting. I'm more kudos. We have the reserve out here. We've got, how many on Tenanga. And I honestly believe that they don't like the fact that the patients are helping the indigenous people. And they don't want the diversion. They want more control. And again, here we are back down to the control. we fought for legalization, but we didn't fight for this. Trudeau lied along the way. He said he'd allow dispensaries. That got wish-washed. But again, we have to remember there's a lot more policy making and bullshit bureaucracy, public servants underneath him. Half the time he has no say. So we can blame Trudeau. We can blame the Liberals. We can blame everything and this and that. You got a bunch of conservative people in there that don't even want pot legal still to this day. You have a whole bunch of old-time Liberals, and it took a lot to get them to vote for this because it was the young Liberals that brought this into policy. It took us going to the young Liberals in the party and have them fight for it because the old-time Liberals, they weren't seeing this. Young Liberals saw it. They worked the policy out, and then we had to vote on it in Convention 2014 before it could even be voted for nationally as a federal policy of any kind, right? It had to be a policy within the party first. So that was the first step. But I tell you, a lot of stuff we recommended, they didn't listen to. I sat at roundtables in Vancouver after that, right before legalization became. Didn't listen to any of that either. So here we are again with another 75-day consultation for them to want to try and cap our plants. And that's where we're at. Again, after we fought Allard, let's go back to Hitzigs, let's go back to Parker, let's go back to Allard. Which one do you want to pull? So, here we are.
Yeah, and you know what? And there's nothing that we can say or do to change it. And it's just like if we turn around and we say that we're not going to vote, then, some other asshole's going to get in. But you know what? Are these new people that, if we vote out Ford Nation and Trudeau, the next people that come in, are they going to be any better? Are they going to listen to us?
No. You've got a conservative in there, and they'll shut us. Well, they can't shut legalization down now.
But there's another problem. Yeah, there's another problem too, and we've seen it more so than not since COVID started. There is a great amount of people that believe that their government cares about them and will take care of them until they die. They believe everything that their government tells them. And they don't even look back in history to see that since government has been created, they've done nothing but lie to us. And it's not that I'm not even saying that COVID is not real. I just found out that one of my friends just got COVID. She's doing great. She's recovered the whole bit. But it's just like, I don't believe anything the government spews. I don't trust and I don't like law enforcement, and we have to stand up together as a people. The government works for the citizens, not the other way around. And until people start to realize that and start burning it into their brains, what's going on right now is never, ever going to change. And that's for every single industry across the board, whether it's small business, whether it's cannabis, whether you have a winery, you have a fruit farm, you grow flowers, everybody's going to get fucked.
Yeah. And that's, what's going on is the division. And that's unfortunate because of the fact that, things are changing. Our world is changing and nothing's the way it was, right? We've been 15 months into this and nothing's the way it was. And it's not going to be. I mean, out here we've got, we're opening. BC's done really well on aspects of certain things, I guess. And our restaurants are back to indoor dining as of today. Our schools have never been shut down since September. A few in the lower mainland where the numbers got a little bit higher. But in my area, we have a population of 21,000. Our schools were closed back March of 2019 when COVID was first, ramping and nobody knew what the hell was going on. But since September, my son stayed home because he had his tonsils out, but it had nothing to do with COVID. Our schools haven't been shut. So we've done, and that's pretty much all of British Columbia. We've done pretty well out here. And again, that's whether people are listening to the government, whether they, and again, it's all personal options. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors that allow us to keep running, because if not for them, we wouldn't have a show. Keep listening to us live on paceradio.net. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
The People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada is an organization working to improve cannabis legalization in Canada. They have a mission and values that includes all Canadians, no matter where they come from. The values are including everyone, as no one should be excluded from participating, equality, diversity, advocacy, along with cannabis education and research, plus industry, safety, and professional standards. If this is an organization that has the same values as you, check them out at peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Once again, peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Check them out.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
CP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CP.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Our technical difficulties today. Thankfully, we have Al behind the board again today. He's helping me out. Thanks, Al, for racing home to save the day. I wanted to send a thank you out to Al before we get back to what we were talking about. But so Stoni is a okay. So let's get back to cannabis. So what exactly? Because I'm a novice. I'm not, but I'm pretending I am. So what is it that you offer? If I was to come into your store or get onto your website, how does this work?
Okay, so it's just like any other delivery service. So if you you don't feel comfortable going to a regular dispensary, you can order your product online. And what we do is we offer that we deliver your order within 60 minutes or less. And what happens is if we get really busy or there's been something that has come up and we're, say, 65 minutes, 70 minutes, with that being said, you get an extra 2 free pre-rolls for having patience with us showing up with your order. You just go through it, flour, concentrates, edibles, there's accessories, there's hash, there's live rosin, diamonds, resin. Like I said, everything.
So like a
is
mail
premium.
order marijuana delivery type of. Do you do mail order too, or just? Oh, okay. So it is a month.
No, it's just delivery.
Oh, okay.
So so depending on what area you are in. So say for instance, you go to the website. You live in St. Jacobs. St. Jacobs is actually part of the Wellington County, and I would deliver to that area. And you can see the exact area in the map of where we deliver to. Another cool thing about it, you can sign up on the website to be able to track your driver to see how long they're going to be, where they are, approximately what time they're going to be showing up. The majority, since I've started here in Kitchener, building really, it's been building, and what's so great about it is because of all the universities, and Kitchener is a tech city with Google being here. The longest I think it's probably taking me to do a delivery is 22 minutes.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
God, I wish I lived there.
Once we get to the point, we're just going to have more locations open up. There's a couple locations that the Toronto division is working on right now. Everybody is courteous. We've even had to take etiquette classes. They want to make sure that they are within the top brands, making sure that we're branded properly, that we're well-spoken, intelligent, well-dressed, all of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, you want to present yourselves as professional. I think that's the biggest thing with cannabis. People have that stigma. They still think that we're wearing dreadlocks, all of us, and that we're long skirts, dreadlock. I walked into an MP's office in Alberta, and that's what he expected me to look like, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, that stigma definitely needs to be taken away. There's too many people that think that, Joel is standing on the street corner in his mustard-stained T-shirt and greasy track pants giving you a sandwich baggie. And you know what? And there was a point, let me see. So June of 2018, I was going through some personal things. To the point where I was actually broke. And so I decided that at that time I was going to start my own delivery service. I had a brand new car. I made sure it was spick and span clean inside and out. I dressed up, like rock and roll. I had the jeans, the high heels, my makeup was done, my hair was done. When I went to go and do a delivery, I showed up with a gift bag. So the gift bag would have stickers and tissue, and if I got extra things for free, like lighters or Lotus tea or anything like that, my customers would get all of this extra stuff in their bags. I would show up to their homes. I would give them their gift bags so nobody was none the wiser. And I did that for 5.5 months. I made $30,000, and then I was just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And totally changed my life.
Good for you. That's amazing. Yeah. I love those kind of stories. So, because we've all been there where and then everything just turns around. That's awesome. So let's talk about your skincare a little bit too. So you got your own skincare line.
Yes, my skincare line is, I shortened the name because it was a little bit long. So it's Natalie Attired Body Polish and Oils. But Natalie Attired actually means well-dressed, polished person. And since your skin is the largest organ that we have, we might as well take care of it. How I came about the line is I had a skin condition from an allergic reaction to American red ink in the tattoo, to find out that I am allergic to American red ink, and the dermatologist that I was seeing was giving me cortisone shots for 18 months, and it wasn't helping whatsoever. So I decided to go to the drugstore, and I would see what kind of scrubs were being offered, bought several different products, tried them out. And to be honest with you, they were all shit. Mm-hmm. And how these companies can pump out garbage, and when you read the ingredients and you have to Google every single ingredient except for agua, there's a problem. And I decided that if you can't ingest it, you shouldn't be putting it on your skin. So I started making a scrub and started giving it out to friends and family. What do you like? What don't you like? What could I improve upon? What would you like to see? And I started doing that, and then I got to the point where I thought I pretty much perfected it. So then I got into making soap and making them look like slabs of cake or cupcakes or soap lollipops. I started doing shows, and it was very girly, doing little kids' parties, things like that. And then, of course, life took over, and I had to put the company on hiatus. I started it up again in 2015 by going to St. Jacobs Market. Unfortunately, it wasn't very successful. I didn't feel very comfortable selling at the St. Jacobs Market. And then the following year, that's when I started working with the general practitioner, and that's how I started getting into cannabis again.
Was the general practitioner you worked for cannabis friendly?
No. I tried to talk him into having a cannabis clinic in his clinic. He was dead set against it. He was more interested in starting a methadone clinic, and I said, you're not solving the problem. I said, you're just adding to it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I 100% agree that methadone is not the gateway out. It's just
no, not at all.
No, so it's just a gateway to continue on.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So in my skincare line, I have body polish, body massage oils, CBD deodorant, pain balm, personal lubricants, bath bombs, bath salts, just tattoo balm, beard oil, and I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anything. Everything is handmade to order. It's all made out of top quality food grade ingredients from around the world, and I hand make it to order. I don't leave products sitting around. So you know that when you get it, it was made especially for you, and it was made with love from the bottom of my heart.
And fresh. That's what like my candy too. Yeah. I mean, and let's be fair, inventory sitting around, it's wasteful. Like, you know, the longer it sits, there's no shelf. There is shelf life, but you have to be really careful when you're doing stuff at home. Like, you know, when it comes to food safety, if you're doing foods or if you're doing topicals, you have to be careful and make sure everything's, you know, fresh. Because if it's not, I mean, I've got, like, trust me, when I go to make candy, it's a 2-hour process of just cleaning before I even start.
Yeah.
I've got animals in the house.
Exactly.
So
disinfect everything.
Yeah. Make sure it's vacuumed down first and then mop. Because like I said, I've got pets. So, but I can honestly say I've never once had anybody ever said to me, I found a hair in my candy. I've never once had anybody say that to me.
Yeah, I think the only issue that I've ever had is basically with the shipping services that are available to us. Canada Post is a waste of time. The last 4 packages I've had to send out to clients, they basically played touch football with it. The products leaked all over the box. I've had to file a claim for my clients every single time. I used UPS on January the 12th for the package to get there on January the 15th. UPS still cannot find that package. I sent the package on Canada Post February 3rd. It took 2 months to get to my parents. And everything in the box was smashed.
Yeah. Yeah, Canada Post to Wainwright, Alberta. It's ridiculous. I can mail snail mail to my mom in Lethbridge. Sometimes it gets to her the next day. I send a package of candy from here to Wainwright, Alberta, which is not that. I mean, it's whatever. A month later, it finally showed up. Like I was almost ready to send a claim, and then I had another friend send me something out from Quebec, because she didn't put her correct postal code on it. She made a mistake. It wasn't done deliberately. They put it into the undeliverable. They didn't even try to deliver it because when they scanned it into the post office here, it came up with a wrong return address on it. So they threw it into the undeliverable pile and didn't even try to fucking deliver it. I was like,
I'll tell you one thing.
Do that?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about Canada Post that a lot of people don't know. So, Canada Post has been a fucking shit show since COVID started. And the reason why I know this is because I dated a guy that works for Canada Post. Talk about fucking miserable. Meanwhile, all of these people are losing their jobs or losing their businesses. And here's this fucking asshole bitching and complaining that he's got to deliver packages. So what he told me is Canada Post doesn't care about your packages from Amazon, Sephora, wherever you got your shit. They don't care about you getting your bills on time, any legal documents or anything like that. What they do care about, and this is the number one priority of every single postal worker, flyers. The flyers for McDonald's, Harvey's, you name it. Those are the important number one things that have to get sent out first.
Yeah, because they have a contract. They have contracts with Canada Post.
And this is how they get paid.
Yeah.
So they don't care about anything else that you do.
Yeah.
As far as small business, when you get a small business card, the only thing that Canada Post offers small business is 5% off.
I know, it's ridiculous.
How that is supposed to help small business is beyond. I'm sorry, but you giving me 15 cents off is a waste of my time.
It doesn't do anything because when they add the tax to it, it doesn't save you fuck all. In fact,
it doesn't at all.
In fact, I think they just upped it to $1.16. So when you go to send a small, I charge usually whatever the cost is. Like I don't usually overcharge because I'm not trying to make money on shipping. But I charge $20 sometimes, like just depending on if the candy's going out in a box because it might be heavier. I take it in. $20 not fucking covering it. It's $22, $24, and I'm like, and I'm not going to go back to my client and say, well, your shipping was $24. I just eat it, right? But if you eat $4 or $5 or $2 or $4 on every shipment because Canada Post is, and then they don't guarantee anything. You pay extra for priority. It still takes 4 fucking days. And what pisses me off is they take your money knowing that they can't guarantee it.
Yep. And I actually commented to them on that last week. I'm like, do you guys guarantee anything? And then I had somebody from BC that wanted to purchase something from me, and I was just like, okay, and they were like, well, usually because it's over a certain amount, you pay the shipping. I said, okay, you know what? No problem. I'll pay the shipping. Oh, by the way, I need you to send it DHL. DHL was $60. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but that's not happening. If you want to pay for it, I'm more than happy to send it DHL, but I'm not paying for that out of my own pocket.
And I think what kills me the most, too, about this whole thing is patients aren't allowed to share. I got busted, trafficking for sharing cannabis. 4 grams, a whole 4 fucking grams. Now, legally, you can ship 30 grams, and Canada Post has a special envelope just for you. Like, if that's not a fucking slap right in the fucking face, right? You can't do that. But apparently, legal can, and you can gift 30 grams a day, and you can go to Canada Post, and they'll help you with it. But before the fuckers at the Canada fucking Post smelled something a little funny in Tabor, so they decided to take it upon them fucking self to rat me out. That's how that got.
Oh, yeah.
That's how that
But rolled. Another thing, too, they would refuse to send your packages if they could smell it. But another thing that was happening, too, there was a lot of postal workers. If you could smell it, they were stealing the packages.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, you know what? And especially with the last 15 months, we've really seen the true colors of all of the nasty people that have come out, especially, and you know what, and I don't really say too much about this, but I'm really disappointed with the nastiness of the people that I thought that I could trust in this industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to cannabis, honey. It's been that way since the very beginning. It's been cutthroat, dog eat dog, backstabbing right from the get-go. It's like any corporation, any new industry, whether it's logging, whether it's oil, and cannabis was the next up and coming, right? So in the very beginning too, when you seen Canopy and all these shareholders and all these big LPs, I've said before, I think it's going to take another 10 years before everybody weeds themselves out. When you talk about oversaturation, like you said, you've got 5 stores in one direction and 6 in another. It's the same here. 20,000 population. We got more pot stores than we do liquor stores now. Not that I'm sad about that because I don't drink, but I mean, seriously, we need fucking 12 stores with 20,000 people. Who's going to make any money? No one.
No, so, you know what, exactly. And don't get me wrong, like, I love a pint of Guinness because I went to Ireland 2 years ago and Guinness has always been my favorite, but I also like to, you know, have a glass of wine. But I would never, ever sit there and say, like, you know what, you got to drink this or you got to drink that. I know how much I can do, and the majority of the time I prefer to smoke my Shadowrizer or smoke my bong and drink kombucha or, you know, my favorite coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and
it's the biggest legal drug around, caffeine, right?
Oh yeah, no, and you know what? And I'm addicted to it. I've got this new brand called Stock, and it was basically sold out all over the world. And I actually think I went through a week of depression because I couldn't find it, which is kind of strange.
I feel you on that. I'm kind of particular on my beans too, and I'm waiting on a delivery, and I had to buy something local, and it tastes funny. It's got to be a certain thing. It just tastes funny. I don't know. I'm kind of a coffee drinker too, but I'm not any connoisseur by any stretch. It just kind of, if it tastes good, I drink it. This stuff doesn't taste that great. But that could be the coffee press too. My coffee pot died, and I just looked at the price of coffee pots on Amazon and went, holy fuck. When did everything just jump?
Yeah, that is one company that I no longer support. I have blacklisted a lot of companies because I'm sorry, the fact that you got even richer while everybody was losing their businesses and their jobs, I'm not going to support you anymore. So, you know, Amazon will never, ever shop there again. Tim Hortons. There's a whole bunch of other ones. And if you want to talk cancel culture, Trump, The View, Wendy Williams, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, anybody in that kind of genre, you got to go. I'm just so tired of your drama and your bullshit and your privilege of 1%.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? There's just... That's the lovely thing about turning things off, right? You just click, get rid of the TV, bye. You know, I watch a lot of CNN too, and there's some days I'm done, and walk away. That's what gardens are for. Why people grow pot. Get rid of the stress. Go grow some weed. Go get a tomato plant. Get away from all this, because by the sounds of it, people, we are coming out of this fucking disastrous, whatever it was. Like I said, we've got different opinions on it, so we'll just kind of stay off topic on that but by the sounds of it, we're coming out, and that's where I think is the good thing, is that we're starting to see some optimism. The sky is blue, and the gardens are going to bloom, and it's summertime, and I hope that things do get back to normal. I hope enough people do, you know, like I said, we're here to do the research for hopefully that it convinces you eventually that you will get a vaccine. And if you choose not to, again, that's your choice. The joy of living in Canada is that everybody has a choice. It will never be mandatory. Passports aren't going to be a thing. What companies do are their absolute right to do it. A company policy can do whatever they want. That's got nothing to do with our charter. They're a private corporation. But our government's not going to do that to us. And I'm pretty sure of that. So I think we're okay. I think if enough of us, just keep moving forward, right? You've got a business you want to run, you want to open up. I'm an organizer, event organizer. I want to have a cup. Again, I thought maybe I wouldn't do this again, but now that we've been shut down for 15 months and it's been 2 summers, I haven't been able to do it because I wanted to. I want to. Just because I couldn't. Because I said I couldn't, now I'm going to. Right? Because... And there's
that's actually the best way for things to happen. When people tell you can't do something, you just say, "Oh, you watch me."
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like we followed protocol. Like most of us shut down our cups last year. I know that Deb didn't do Harvest Fest out in Nova Scotia either, and that's, we didn't do ours either. Like, and we're not big. Like with the 50 gathering that we had in British Columbia most of the time too, because like I said, we've really done things differently out here. Like we shut down early. We kept things kind of half open. We've done the social distancing. Most people have wore their masks, and we've got 70% of our population out here vaccinated. Not with 2, but with the first vaccine. So I don't know if we're different ahead, what's going down, but again, we're opening. And I think that's what we all want to see. I want to see all these small businesses that have been struggling. And it's a fact that nobody's had any money. Right? So it's hard to go and buy my fancy essential oils that I love so much when I don't have $150 extra to spend on them, because that's got to go to food. But because the cost of fuel's gone up so much, our food costs have inflated. And, and even with cannabis, like I have to be very mindful on what I spend on my meds, because here I am thinking I'm going to try and quit smoking pot because I can't afford $600 a month anymore. And that's keeping it to a dull roar. Because I'm not growing. Like I don't have my garden anymore. And I can't afford to spend $600 a month. And that's minimal. Like that's very minimal. My gram per day's what I think my last prescription was for 20. My husband's at 20. If I had to buy that from a licensed producer, 40 grams a day for us, or from anywhere. So definitely we're not smoking our prescriptions. That's for a fact. Nobody can afford it. And like I said, I got crap power.
Well, I don't know what the rule. I don't know what the rules are in BC, but I do believe in Ontario. If I remember correctly from when I was educating, you can write off up to $2,000 for your medication on your taxes, but it does have to come from a licensed producer.
Yeah, it has to be.
Now,
see, and what I did. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, no, the other thing that you can do is you can do some research with the BC government to see if they would cover anything. I'm not really sure how that would work. So say, for instance, I have a friend, Carol, she is a veteran. She has gone through all the rigmarole of getting everything through the government. She gets 240 grams a month. That the government pays for her medication.
Yeah, she's with veterans. And that Veterans Affairs has always paid for the veterans' cannabis. What they did is they actually ended up capping them at 5 grams a day, I think, because they did a study here about, 6 years ago or 7 years ago, something along like that, where they capped them. For anybody else, PWD out in British Columbia, which is disability, which I'm not on, doesn't cover it. Asian Alberta doesn't cover it. Any of the provincial medical that you get for disability, no. And I've got extended benefits. My husband works in the oil patch, so we've got extended. No, they don't cover it either. And it would have to come from a licensed producer. I was with Broken Coast because I did have to sign a licensed producer just to cover my ass a few years ago when I went through Canamart, so I could buy from other producers. And I'd always buy, a little bit of something, so I'd have a container around, and they always send out an invoice. And that invoice you're supposed to keep towards your taxes. You go to do your taxes, you have to spend at least $300 over and above your coverage for them to even look at it. And our tax lady says the minute you put in medical expenses, they're going to audit you. And I'm like, oh, great. So we tried that last year. It didn't go so well.
Yeah. But we're great that the government's always trying to find a way to screw us over.
Every time. Like, and if it's not them, it's like I said, property tax. It's all. Yeah. It is what it is, and that's the unfortunate thing. And the only way we can change it is if we vote. And that's what I tell people, not voting doesn't help us, because if you don't vote, then it doesn't help change things. And being an advocate and speaking to your MPs and doing it professionally, talking to your MLAs and your MPPs, because this is the way we change things. Screaming and yelling and hollering doesn't get us anywhere. And I learned that a long time ago. So that's what I always advise people. If you want things to change, start writing letters. And I mean letters, not on paper, because they can't throw those, they don't throw those in the garbage. Everything's got to be, and it's free if you mail it to the federal government. So there are all kinds of campaigns we've tried prior to, didn't get us anywhere, but we try. And that's what we got to keep doing. We just got to keep trying, and we got to keep uniting. And on that note, we are going to ask you how to get a hold of you, because we've run out of time. So how do people get a hold of you to find out if they're close enough for your lovely delivery service?
Okay, so all you have to do is go to StoniCannabis.com, find out if we deliver in your location, and you make the order. You can either pay by COD or you can pay by e-transfer. If it comes to my company, still in the process of having my website built, which is very difficult. We all know how webmasters are, but I do have a brand new online catalog, which I am more than happy to either send through Messenger or I can email it to you. And you can reach me at naskincare1@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. And next week, I believe I'm bringing on Russ Middleton from BMA Hydroponics is going to join me next week. We're going to talk growing. So you all have a great week, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive. The only way to go.
The People's Alliance of Cannabis in Canada is an organization working to improve cannabis legalization in Canada. They have a mission and values that includes all Canadians, no matter where they come from. The values are including everyone, as no one should be excluded from participating, equality, diversity, advocacy, along with cannabis education and research, plus industry, safety, and professional standards. If this is an organization that has the same values as you, check them out at peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Once again, peoplesallianceofcannabisincanada.ca. Check them out.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.